Hey y'all, Irix Guy here, and I wanted to apologize yesterday during one of my first videos in the field, not my first flight, but some of the follow-up videos because I only had one battery. I only performed one flight yesterday. Today what I'm going to do is do my second Mavic Mini flight. So this will be the second time flying the Mavic Mini. I've got a little bit more confidence today. You know, obviously when I take a new drone out in the field, just see what happens. You know, I'm not the guy that's sitting there thoroughly reading this, that, and the other. I don't care what other people say. I mean, I do care what other people say, but I don't care what other people say to do or this, that, and the other. I just want to take it out, you know, just as an average Joe and figure out how does it perform. So today will be different again because I hopefully won't have a firmware update that comes in and delays the flight. Again, this is my second flight with the Mavic Mini. So without further ado, let's just go through it. You know, this will be a long-winded video, so if you're not into that type of thing, you may not want to watch it. But if you want an honest Mavic Mini review in the field, this is it. This is as real as it gets. So let's see, I'm just double checking, making sure I'm recording there, and I am. Got my landing pad set up already, so you know that's there. And I am using this wireless microphone solution today. The same thing I used yesterday, except today I didn't put the lavalier mic on. I've just got the little thing that clips on. So hopefully I won't encounter any interference. I know this is, my microphone solution is Bluetooth, but yesterday I was uncertain as to whether or not I might encounter interference with the drone's controller and this, that, and the other, but I didn't. If I do, apologize in advance, but hopefully I won't. So got my little, this case is actually my old Mavic Air case. I need to get a case for my Mavic Mini. If you're looking for a case or the Mavic Mini and the other accessories, expand this video's description and then click the link there to find where to order it all online. But let's go ahead and get this puppy airborne. The first thing obviously I'm going to do is take the camera, gimbal protector, whatever you want to call it, off. This is not made to be flown with. This is not something that I would have attached if I was powering on the drone because it could potentially damage the camera and or gimbal, and you probably don't want to do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is just pop out I'm going to do the, so when you unfold it, you look at the camera end, you do the one closest to the camera and then do the other one, and then do the rear one, and then do the other rear one. And then this thing, I've got the battery charged. I will forewarn everyone, this is not completely charged. So we'll see how far it is. I was in a hurry to get to the field. So we're gonna go ahead and power it on. You can see it's starting to power on. I'm gonna put it over here. Probably would have been a good idea to power the controller on first, but you know, I don't know, I did it that way today. Put my little controller sticks on the controller. Taking these off is convenient, and a lot of people are like, man, why do you screw them on and screw them off? And see, that's why you may not want to, because these things fall in the grass. They're black, they may be hard to see. But I take them on and off because it makes the controller more flat. And then I can stick it in a travel case or whatever and not have to worry about the controller sticks getting hung up. People say fly with it up. Some people say fly with them sticking out. Today, I'm just gonna fly with them sticking out. I do use an iPhone. So I've got my, my little lightning style connector here. You can see that, it's the lightning style connector for the iPhone. I'm going to stick that in the side of the controller here. I've gotten spoiled by the smart controller for the Mavic 2 Pro, and yesterday during my first flight I was so spoiled by the Mavic 2 Pro smart controller that I failed to power on my controller, which was pretty stupid. But again, none of this is scripted, and you know, I take a lot of pride in and just having a good time doing this, and you know, the ones of y'all that find this to be useful and and or entertaining. I appreciate that. And, you know, again, your subscriptions matter. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you know, I am an independent YouTube channel. So your subscriptions, your act of kindness by going in and expanding this video's description and then clicking the link there when you're trying to order drones or cameras or any sort of thing for that matter, you know, check out the links within my video's descriptions, or just go to my website, epicdroneshow.com or irixsky.com, and that's tremendously appreciated. So I've got my iPhone in here. You know, in my case, I'm using the iPhone, what is this, the iPhone X, is it the XR? It's the cheaper one that has the better battery life. That's the iPhone I'm using. So we're gonna power on our controller. Just pushing a little button on top of the controller. And then I'm gonna go into the app. And again, it is worth mentioning, the app is a different app. And if you've used the other apps, it's pretty much, you know, you'll probably feel pretty much at home. But, you know, like yesterday after my first flight, okay, I'm 98% battery, so I just took it off just a little bit prematurely. So, you know, if you're familiar with the other apps, you'll probably feel right at home with this. And you can see there, it's just, you know, it's, I'm in the field and it's got its little camera view. It's got its satellites. It says takeoff permitted. Obviously, I am in a safe and responsible location. You know, even though this drone at this point in time may not require registration, again, check with your local authorities and governmental agencies or whatever. I'm not a, you know, I'm not any sort of authoritative figure. I'm just a guy that likes to have fun with drones. But you know, it's still important to be safe regardless of the size and or weight of a drone, because if you're not safe, this hobby may cease to exist at an international level, and that would be horrible. So, you know, always be safe. So I've already formatted my card. I've got it set to the maximum video quality, which is 2.7K. And again, this video where you see my face on video, I'm filming this portion with a high-end 4K camera and lens. But as you watch my video, as we take off here in a second, that's going to be in 2.7K. But since it'll be in a 4K video project, it's actually up-converted 2.7K. And I will tell you, the visual experience that I had with my first field test video yesterday left me kind of breathless. You know, I was like, man, that looks good. And that's only 2.7K. But it going back and forth between this camera, which is very high-end in 4K, and then that, which is just a basic 2K camera. But it gets the job done. So without further ado, let's hit record in our app. Hit that little red button there. We're recording now. And we are going to get her airborne. So let me stand out of the frame here. You know, traditional start type deal. You just pull your sticks down and we're gonna take off. I did adjust the gimbal wheel speed after my first flight yesterday. So, you know, today my expectation is that we can get some more slow and cinematic type videos. So let me bring it close. I wanna show you how smooth the hover of this thing is. I mean, it is exceptionally smooth. Let me bring it a little bit closer here. I've got a field monitor on top of the camera so I can see what's going on here and see. Look at this, I'm gonna bring it close. Kind of go this way, everything's backwards. And now we're gonna turn around and see, it sees me right there. Look at this quality. And the autofocus, don't have to deal with the manual focus. The autofocus on this thing is rock solid. It is worth mentioning the sun is over that way. And it's partly cloudy, and there is a moderate amount of wind. So without further ado, let's go ahead and continue here. We're gonna go forward. We're going to ascend to a safe and responsible altitude. Right now we are at, well, let's see, we're at 27, 29, 30, 40. Let's take her up to, you know, just go straight up to about, I don't know, 250 feet. Again, the sun is over there. The drone is up there. So the camera is pointing away from the sun. One thing I did notice, with this drone is that when it films directly into the sun, it doesn't perform as well as expected. It doesn't perform as well as the, you know, the Mavic 2 Pro with the Hasselblad. Okay, now we're at 243 feet. So we're gonna turn this thing around. We're gonna rotate towards the sun. The sun is is turning clockwise, so we're heading towards the sun here. And I'll tell you when we see it. Well, you'll probably see the sun because it's bright. It's a big star. It's the brightest star in the universe. So
my apologies. I couldn't hear what you said.
That was Siri on my Apple Watch. That's weird. Well, I don't want her to hear what I said. I don't like her. So yeah, the sun's up there in those clouds, so you can see where it's kind of bright towards the leftmost part of the frame. That's where the sun is. So if the sun is obstructed by clouds, the visual quality, at least what I'm seeing in the app view right now, I mean, I don't know, y'all tell me when you're watching this, while you're watching this video, what does it look like? But, you know, I'm not seeing any sort of wonky lens flare. I'm not seeing any sort of, you know, what would be the word for it? If you get too much sunlight and it just makes everything just kind of washed out. There we go, washed out. It doesn't look washed out. So, let's see, let's go, now the sun's towards the left, so we're gonna get away from the sun. The sun's going out of the frame now, and you see that body of water. Now that body of water, we are going to go right over that body of water here momentarily, but for the sake of this video, and to stick to the format that I've always used from, you know, Phantom 1 through present being the Mavic Mini that we're reviewing right now, but you know, doing that second field test. You know, the first field test is more of a, you know, get your feet wet, see what it can do, see what it can't do, you know, zero expectations kind of thing. And then the second field test we're doing now is when we're more confident. You know, we've had the, well, not we, I've had the drone in my hands, and I've, you know, looked at it, and, you know, y'all have commented on my first flight video. It's like, well, what about this? What about that? And what I thought was funny about my first, the first Mavic Mini flight test video that I did is that, you know, a lot of people were commenting about the wonkiness of my primary camera, which is this, you know, the camera I'm filming face on video with now. Ooh, I just lost signal. That's not good. Okay, it's fine. Aircraft signal interference. Okay, is there, oh, no transmission, return to home. Yeah, there is something shady going on. I hope I didn't get attacked by something. But I mean, I can't see. Oh, this is not good. And this is not fake. This is reality. I have lost. Okay, signal came back. Ooh, I don't know. You know, that was that was scary. And obviously I've got return to home enabled, but it's one of those features, you know, although it may work, I never expected it will. So, but you know, and that's another good thing about this drone. I mean, this drone being small and lightweight and also less expensive, if this drone had encountered some sort of catastrophic failure, you know, obviously it would be in a safe and responsible location. But if I lost this drone, it's not like losing a, you know, something fancier like a Mavic 2 Pro. So this drone brings a lot of advantages to the table. And, you know, one of the primary advantages is that it, you know, is capable, but it's so small and so lightweight. And especially if you're a minimalist, like a backpacker or something, and you want to take a bunch of gear, you know, this is a great drone to throw in your bag along with other gear. And initially during the unboxing video, I was talking about the controller, how it felt cheap, and not cheap, but it just felt, you know, the plastics aren't as thick and this, that, and the other when you hold it in your hands. And I was kind of making negative comments about that during my unboxing video, and I want to step back and apologize for that, because honestly, at that point in time, I didn't think about the positive aspects of the controller being lighter weight. So if you're backpacking, for example, you're not just going to have the drone in your bag, you're also going to have the controller. So, you know, think back to, remember the Parrot Bebop where it was a small and lightweight drone, and then they had that huge, it was called the Sky controller, just an enormous controller. So that completely negated the value add of a small and lightweight drone. The same would be applicable here. You know, if this drone had a super heavy controller, then it's stupid because you're carrying a drone with you that's so small and so lightweight, but you've got a controller that is also being carried with you, and it weighs you down. And that's the advantage, again, that this drone, that's the top thing I like about this drone is the small size and small weight. But the thing I like most about this drone is the ability to recharge by way of USB. And why DJI has not enabled USB recharging capability until this drone, I don't know. You know, maybe they wanted to own the the charging experience, because you got to charge your batteries. So if they can have their own proprietary chargers to recharge the batteries, that's just another accessory they're selling. At the end of the day, most anything is about making money, and but manufacturers can take that too far. So I really applaud DJI for allowing us to recharge this drone by way of USB. There's a dude over here playing golf. Actually, I do know during my first field test video yesterday, there was a guy that pulled up, and I didn't know what was going to go on, if I was going to get confronted or if it was just something cool, and it was just this dude playing golf. So I'm going to kind of take this slow and go over there and see if I can see the golf ball. Got to talk in my golf voice, I can't be too loud. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh, here he is. 4. So there he is playing his game of golf in the field. What's so impressive though, look at this, when we get lower to the ground here, the detail, the autofocus on this drone is just incredible. I mean, it's hassle-free, and that is something, you watch my Mavic 2 Pro videos before they had the latest firmware. I hated the autofocus on the Mavic 2 Pro, and it was so bad, I hated it so much that I just used manual focus, and it worked exceptionally well with the Mavic 2 Pro. So here we are, we're still, this is what's so outstanding, we're still at 61% battery life. Now I've got more batteries coming, but to expedite my drone delivery, when I ordered this from epicdroneshow.com, and again, just go to expand this video's description and then click the link there, or you can go directly to epicdroneshow.com as well to order one. But when I ordered it, now I'm going to stop the recording. When I ordered it without any accessories, because my expectation was that, well, if I'm ordering something that's got all the accessories, they've got a bundle of this, it's, you get more stuff with it. I just got the base kit, and the reason being is that I didn't want to risk a delayed shipment, because obviously I owe, my viewers, and again, I buy these drones. I'm not somebody that's being sent, and I've been offered it before, but I'm not being sent pre-release drones, this, that, and the other. No, I get them when they come out. This is a production version of the Mavic Mini. So, this is a true test of how great or how awful this drone is. And I will tell you, after my second flight that we just filmed, this thing is incredible, because all that flying, it's still got 59% battery remaining. And again, since I have one battery, I'm going to, what's the word for it? I'm going to save the rest of that battery, and since it's USB rechargeable, I'm going to stick that drone in my vehicle, and I'm going to plug it into a USB, micro USB cable in my vehicle, and I'm going to drive somewhere where there's even cooler stuff to film, and I'm going to pop it back out because I've still got battery remaining. But while I'm en route to that next place, it'll be charging it up more. So it'll be interesting to see. It's at 58% now. Let me go ahead and power it off. It's going to power this off. Again, to power it off, it's just a very, very simple process. You just, that little button on the bottom. See, is it focusing on the drone or is it focusing on my eyes? I think it's probably, this has nothing to do with the drone. I'm just curious about the focus here. See, this camera I'm using, I've got eye autofocus. And I think it's, let's see. Huh, let's see if it gets me back. And see, I should be pretty sharply focused. So yeah, it's just, when I get, it may be the minimal focus distance as well, but okay, so now I'm just gonna push that, power this off, and then that way I'll save the juice that I have remaining. And you know, like I mentioned, when I head to the next filming location, I'll have a little bit of battery remaining, plus the charge that it's gonna receive while en route to the next filming location. So, you know, this was the second flight, just as awesome. I would say more awesome than the first flight, and the reason being, the first flight I always go into it, and you know, I haven't flown the drone before. It's first time in the field. This was my second flight, which meant that I'd flown my first flight. So, you know, I had less lag time, didn't have to deal with the firmware update. And that's something I would encourage everybody to do, you know, before you go out to the field or wherever you fly, you know, power up your drone and go into the app and see if there's a firmware update. Because downloading those, even if you've got a fast LTE network, it's not the download that's necessarily the nuisance. It's the fact that you've got to stand in that field and wait, because after it downloads, it's got to install. And while it's doing that, of course, it's consuming your controller's battery and then also your drone's battery life. So, you know, just some tidbits there for you. And again, this thing right here, these propellers, and you noticed, you may have noticed in my first video, or my unboxing video rather, where I was talking about, that's really weird. Let me see if I tap focus here, if this will, oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, it was wanting to go with my eyes, see? Okay, now we got this detail that I wanted. So these propellers, they're thin, but they're not cheap. You know, my concern is that when I took it out of the box, is that these things would be very brittle, and they're not. And again, it is worth mentioning again that these require a screwdriver to take them on and off, but that screwdriver is included with the drone. At least it was included with mine. So hopefully I never break the props, and that's why I always use a landing pad, so I've got a flat surface. I mean, unless this makes contact with something unexpectedly during flight, I would hope I don't break props. I know there's some people that change their props periodically, so, you know, after extended use, that may be something that I choose to do as well, swap them out with another set rather. But yeah, just a super cool drone. And again, this was the second flight, so I don't know, y'all tell me, what do you think after watching this video? And if you watched my first field test video, what are your thoughts about the Mavic Mini? Is it good enough quality? Is it not? I mean, is it too, I don't know. I mean, y'all tell me, because when I looked at it, I mean, obviously I could tell a difference when I was viewing the footage, because a 1-inch sensor camera on the Mavic 2 Pro, that's just a higher end camera. So, you know, it's going to capture better quality. But I mean, for this thing at 2.7K with just a somewhat basic camera and very small, I've been impressed. I mean, obviously it's not as good as the quality of this face on video camera that we're using right now, but I mean, again, the price point of this thing is incredible. So, you know, I'm I'm still blown away at the value of this, and again, the travel size and the travel weight, and the biggest thing, as I mentioned earlier, is the ability to just stick in a micro USB and charge it. If I'm in the field backpacking and I've got my USB battery bank, I've got a micro USB. I can charge this thing, and obviously I can get extra batteries. Right now I've just got one battery, but I've got more batteries coming. But for one battery, I mean, this thing is a beast as far as how long it'll fly. And I mean, that was a pretty long flight, and I've still got a lot left. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video and take this thing down to a better filming location. I mean, nothing wrong with this field. This field has provided value to the drone community since DJI Phantom 1. So, I like to keep things consistent. I don't like to introduce a lot of unnecessary variables. So, that's why this field is so important. I mean, this is one of the most important fields for drone hobbyists in the world. So, with that being the case, I appreciate your viewership. And again, if you're looking for the Mavic Mini, maybe you don't want to buy the Mavic Mini, you're looking for a Mavic Air, Mavic 2 Pro, maybe an older Phantom, whatever you're looking for, expand this video's description and then click the link there to find where to order it online. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to do so. It's youtube.com/iRixGuy. And when you do subscribe, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. And be sure to leave those comments down below so I know what y'all think about this thing. Hey y'all, Captain iRixGuy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/iRixGuy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.